From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. Many areas in the southwestern portion of the United States have endured day after day of heat more typical of early summer than early spring. The region will face yet another week of intense heat, but there are signs of a major change before the end of the month. AccuWeather Vice President of Forecasting Operations Dan DePodwin said that the heat wave has already lasted 5 to 7 days and appears likely to continue through the end of the week. Phoenix has never experienced more than 5 days in a row with highs of 100 degrees or greater during March or April. There are a couple of days with a high near 100 forecast this week, but if temperatures surpass the upper 90s on those days, well, we could be looking at 10 days in a row of triple-digit heat. Many locations from California to parts of Colorado and Texas have tied or broken daily record highs for a long string of days. Some have shattered old records by several degrees. Some have set new early-season high temperature records, wiping out marks set in March and April, even though April is still a week away. AccuWeather's Jesse Farrell said, so far, we have counted 76 individual monthly temperature records being set and hundreds of daily record highs. Multiple monthly state records have likely been set during the heat wave so far, with data still being verified by government sources. Cities that have tied or broken daily record highs for multiple consecutive days are too numerous to mention, but some include San Francisco, Sacramento, Fresno, and Palm Springs, California, Las Vegas and Reno, Nevada, Phoenix, Flagstaff, and Tucson, Arizona, Salt Lake City, Ogden, and Cedar City, Utah, Pocatello and Boise, Idaho, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and Las Cruces, New Mexico, El Paso, Texas, and Durango, Colorado. DePodwin said that San Francisco, which sits along chilly bay waters, has never recorded 5 consecutive days with highs in the 80s in March. There have been 6 days in a row with highs in the 80s, with 5 of those days being records. On March 21st, the high was 75, which was also a record, making it 6 days in a row with record highs. Phoenix reached 105 for 3 consecutive days last week. Palm Springs hit 108 on March 20th. And Yuma, Arizona reached a sizzling 109 that same day. Farrell said that 9 states in the western U.S. set monthly average temperature records for the period from December through February. It is a challenge to say if that will happen again for the spring season, as there are some signs of cooler weather moving in for April. Now, looking ahead, more record highs are expected across the interior West, from Idaho to California to Texas this week, as a new bulge in the jet stream develops and reboots the massive heat dome for several more days. Energy demands will remain high during a time of the year when the need for heating diminishes and cooling should be low. Hundreds more daily record highs will be broken, with multiple locations in the deserts topping 100, which are typically not experienced until the end of May or June. The heat will expand again onto the plains and into the Mississippi Valley later this week. Starting in some areas on Friday and expanding over the weekend, the massive heat dome will begin to break down across the west. The jet stream will begin to drift farther south, and with that, some cooler air from the Pacific will be drawn inland. However, there will still be some pockets of heat over the interior West. During next week, the heat will shift from the Rockies to the plains and the Mississippi Valley. As that happens, progressively cooler air will settle over the western third of the nation. For example, highs in the 100s this week will give way to highs in the 80s in Phoenix for next week. Temperatures may still be a few degrees above the historical average, near 80, but that is 20 degrees below what the current heat wave is offering. As cooler air moves in, moisture levels will increase, providing opportunities for clouds and showers. Looking farther ahead, AccuWeather's long-range team, led by expert senior meteorologist Paul Pastelok, expects more opportunities for some rain over the interior Southwest later this spring. He said, "We expect some influx of subtropical moisture from the Pacific and perhaps the Gulf of California to become involved later this spring. With El Niño expected to develop quickly this summer, the North American monsoon and its moisture should be on time and then near average for most of the summer. Increased cloud cover, showers, and thunderstorms would not only help ease the serious drought building across the interior West, including the Colorado River Basin, but also could help keep those extreme temperatures in check. Conditions could then trend drier and hotter than the historical average later in the summer. Well, a bright fireball streaking across the Texas sky may have ended with a rare and dramatic impact right through the roof of a home. NASA confirmed a meteoroid about 3 feet wide and weighing roughly a ton entered Earth's atmosphere over southeastern Texas on Saturday. Traveling at 35,000 miles per hour, it became visible high above the region before breaking apart about 29 miles above the ground. That breakup triggered a powerful pressure wave, producing loud booms heard across the Houston area. Dozens of reports flooded into the American Meteor Society website as residents described a bright flash followed by a rumble that shook homes. And one of the most striking developments, a suspected meteorite fragment punched through the roof of a home north of Houston, leaving a visible hole and landing inside. Officials believe the rock is linked to the same fireball event. NASA scientists were able to track the falling debris using weather radar, which picked up signals from fragments descending through the atmosphere, a rare but valuable tool for locating meteorites on the ground. Impact events like this are uncommon. According to NASA, meteorite falls are rare enough that only a limited number are documented each year, even though meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere frequently. Most burn up completely before reaching the ground, and many fall over oceans or unpopulated areas. In 2021, in Golden, British Columbia, a woman awoke to a meteorite in her bed after it came barreling through her ceiling. The fireball in Texas comes just days after another bright meteor exploded over Ohio, highlighting a recent stretch of visible fireball activity. Even so, scientists stress that damaging impacts remain extremely rare, making this Texas one a remarkable glimpse into the powerful forces at work just above Earth's surface. That's all for now. You can find more regional forecasts and more science-based articles at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.